Here is a video of me practicing dribbling in the mirror room with dribbles coming up high over my shoulder, and every time that I practice I get a comment from someone saying, Trav, you're dribbling the ball so high, don't you have problems with ball security? I've always been told that I'm supposed to keep a really low dribble. So today I'm going to be looking at that and talking about it, but first by looking at what NBA players are actually doing. Starting with my guy Rajon Rondo. Here's him faking out LeBron in the open court. I mean, if you're open, you can dribble as high as you want. Rondo goes over his shoulder, over his head, picking that one up. But what if you're highly, there's a lot of defenders around. Here's Derrick Rose guarding him. You can see that dribble is coming up over his shoulder, but there's two defenders trying to get the ball from him too. What gives him this security and is use of his off arm. Okay, here's him bringing the ball up clearly over his waist. Here's him working his way to the basket, not over his shoulder on these dribbles, but clearly over his waist. He's picking the ball up around his shoulder, so he could have put the ball back down. Here's Chris Paul now, advancing the ball, shoulder high spin dribble starting off here, you can tell. Picks up the ball off the spin dribble high with his left, goes up to his left shoulder here now before throwing it. Here's him in the open floor, dribble over his head on this one, but I mean, if you're open, you know, you can do whatever you want, and the question is, what do you do if you're guarded? Well, like Rajon Rondo, what gives him ball security is his off arm and use of his body. Here's Tony Parker guarding him, and he's still using a shoulder high dribble here. Roughly shoulder high, this one is shoulder high, but the ball is secure because of use of his off arm. And I'm going to further explain this. Now here's me in red shorts being guarded by yellow. Ball is up over my shoulder, but again, I say this guy's a good defender. He's the best defender that matched me up this summer. But I obviously have zero problem with ball security because my body is in between and I have use of my off arm. Even on my crossover, high crossover is roughly shoulder high. Alright, so let's expand on this idea of high dribbles. Get cozy here. Talk about why I do it, why NBA players do it, and why the whole always keep your dribble low is a myth. I mean, as you can see, Chris Paul, Rondo, these guys are known for having impenetrable handles. No one's getting the ball from them. Whether there's someone guarding near them or not, oftentimes they're dribbling shoulder high. And what gives them the security is use of the off arm, right? If I am controlling the defender with my off arm and my body, it doesn't matter how high I dribble, they're not going to be able to reach it. Furthermore, I think that you want to dribble high, as we can see these guys are doing, whether you're crossing over, as you saw me do, whether you're in the open court, for whatever. I mean, obviously you want to keep the ball low when if you're doing a cross or whatever, but I mean, if it dribbles up really high, it's perfect. So why is that? Well, I mean, I have a theory, and this should make sense. If it doesn't, tell me, but the idea is the longer the ball is in your hand, the more control you have. Because when the ball is in your hand, if the defense adjusts, you can make a pass. If the defense adjusts, you can shoot. If the defense adjusts, you can put the ball on the floor. So if my defender's going to reach, I want the ball in my hand, and I want it up high, so I can react by getting my body or whatever, you know. If someone, you know, makes a cut to the basket, and I have a lob opportunity, I want the ball in my hand so I can make that pass. If the defender goes under the screen, I want the ball in my hand so I can turn it into a shot right then. So I want to dribble the ball high. However, and this is where is what people really mean when they say don't dribble the ball too high, because I believe you do want to dribble the ball too high. You want to meet the ball within 6 inches of the ground and let it carry it up high, generally. That's not even always true. But, I mean, the idea is you want the ball in your hand for as long as possible. You want to be able to take as many steps as possible per dribble. In order to do that, you need to take long, high dribbles. But I mean, if you're taking a dribble, your hand meets the ball 6 inches off the ground, but you carry it up another 6 feet. The ball's in your hand 90% of the time, and that allows you infinite options. There's no window where you dribble and you're waiting for it to come up and defender's gonna reach in. You can decide whatever you want, and I mean, you have control. So does that make sense? I think it's a myth. People always look at what I do and they say, you're dribbling the ball so high, like you aren't supposed to do that or whatever. And I'm like, why? I mean, you can look at my videos. I don't have problems with ball security. People do not try to take the ball from me, because occasionally they do, and I just control them with my off arm or go right by them, and I'll dribble high the entire time. So I put this video together and just to show you what the NBA players are doing and to tell you that, yo, it's a myth. Don't listen to these people. Look at what the NBA players are doing. Don't even look at what I'm doing. I included these NBA clips for a reason. However, there are times to dribble low, as there are times to dribble high. I'm not exactly sure what the situations are where you really need to dribble low. But in general, just focus on controlling the defender with your off arm and with your body, and dribble as high as you want. Dribble high so that the ball's in your hand for a long time and you can cover more space per dribble. So those are my thoughts. I think that the keep your dribble low thing is just a straight up myth. So would love to hear feedback. This video is going to be really useful for me, as I'm going to be referring your comments to this forever and to this video. And if you are working on a high handle and people are like, yo, you shouldn't do that, your coaches even, send them this video and say, well, look at what the NBA players are doing. How do you explain this, right? So thanks for everyone who's led me to make this video, as I've gotten the same comment over and over, and that made me make this video. So peace.